The following is a presentation of Muddy River News.
Your financial needs aren't independent of each other, so your financial advisors shouldn't be either. At Mercantile Bank, our experienced United Wealth professionals are united to serve you and your complete financial planning and wealth management needs. Are you just starting your investment journey or need to roll over a retirement plan? Do you need to plan for a loved one with special needs or for your own life after work? Maybe your business needs a succession plan or you want to enhance your employee benefit programs. Whatever steps you need to take, our United Wealth experts are ready to take them with you. Together, we are united.
Hi, this is Ron Kincher with Muddy River News. Welcome to the Business Spotlight, brought to you by Mercantile Bank. We have Morgan Miles with us,
Hello.
a newly formed business, Miles Design.
Correct.
Interior decorating, or interior design,
Interior
correct?
design.
So you only do corporate?
It's a wide range of commercial projects, so really any public space you would go into would be my realm.
So when you attack that, how is that different than doing non-corporate or non-commercial space?
So I really try to shy away from doing residential because they are two completely different worlds. And honestly, when I do get approached about residential design, I don't even feel like I'm the best fit for that because it's just a completely different world, different products, different, just a different space entirely, different vendors, everything. So
What's so different about the world, though?
you know, it seems like they would be one and the same because design is design.
Correct.
But in public space, there's a lot more, I guess, regulatory aspects that come into it. Life safety, you know, code and compliance, and making sure that all the materials that are selected are chosen and lighting and everything is, you know, appropriate for the application. And
And you have,
sure.
and you are certified.
Correct.
So what makes that unique, you being certified versus somebody who may do this that's not certified? Or can you do this if you're not certified?
You know, I wish that we would get to a point.
Yeah.
You know, in commercial interior design, it's harder, just interior design in general. You know, people are out there that enjoy the hobby of design, which is lovely, but calling yourself an interior designer, you really should be qualified with degree, certification, especially in the commercial realm. Again, residential is much different, but in the commercial world, you really should have those qualifications because you need to know all of the compliance materials or compliance that goes into it. So in order to get your certification, you have to have a 4-year bachelor's degree. You have to have so many years and hours of experience under somebody else who else is certified.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So my first job right out of college was with O'Toole Design in St. Louis, and she was an NCIDQ certified designer as well. So you have to have so many hours under somebody else who's certified. And then you have to go through, you know, rigorous exams to even pass that. So it's definitely a multi-step, multi-layer process.
You're then responsible like for the ADA compliance and then OSHA and all those things.
And to an extent, you know, once it gets into certain things, you know, an architect would get involved as well, or engineers. But any non-structural, you know, interior element.
So I call you in to come to our business, my business. What's the first thing you generally do?
So we would sit and have a conversation about what you are looking for, what you want the space to be, you know, whether you want to renovate entirely, you're looking to remove walls, do a completely new layout, or is it more surface level, or is it new furniture? You know, there's so many different tiers to the renovation process. So it's figuring out what you are looking for and then what I need to do to make that happen.
Does that happen before the hiring phase? I mean, do you need that in order to get a bid together? I'm assuming.
So we'd have kind of a consultation appointment type of thing. I like to be in the space just to get eyes on what we would be talking about and working with. And then I'd put together a design proposal.
How often are you talking to somebody, oh gosh, this just isn't going to work?
You know, it doesn't happen very often. Most of the time, you know, they've been thinking about it for a while, or they've already talked to certain contractors they have relationships with, so they've kind of looked through the logistics by the time we talk. But sometimes there is meetings I have, and I'm like, okay, so I love the thought, love the direction, but what kind of budget are we working with? So you know, trying to make it realistic and set, you know, expectations out the get-go.
So that's my next question is how important and how awkward can that conversation be? Because I'm assuming in order to put the bid together, you got to know what they want to spend.
Right. It's not very awkward because I think, especially in today's world when everything is such volatile pricing, it's just trying to also set the tone of, okay, this is what you want to achieve. This is how much money you want to spend on it. Maybe it's phased, which in my own office, I'm phasing things. I completely understand that financing sometimes has to go in waves. So it's just having those conversations up front and giving them realistic costs of what things are shaking out right now.
Do you provide a good, better, best type scenario?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I usually prefer to do that just because, like with anything, if you're going to buy a car,
Correct.
huge range. That's how everything is in any, construction project or, materials that you could use. Yeah, you could go baseline or you could get the luxury option. So good, better, best is always a good motto.
And you talked on your site a lot about phases too.
Yes.
Is that phases within a single project? And then you mentioned something else. It could be phases over the course of a decade or so.
Yeah, right. It's completely up to them. And usually I suggest still designing holistically so that the design is locked in, but whether you execute each phase is kind of at your discretion. And then you don't necessarily need my design in a phased portion. Like design everything so it all makes sense together, and then tackle, lobby, tackle offices, tackle this phase differently. But when you're ready to push go, you have all the information you need.
So how detailed are you? So let's say you're doing my space. I guess it's up to the client. I mean, are you picking out wall coverings and paintings and type of couches, or
yes,
are you just doing the structural part of it?
Everything you can think of from the design phase. So, I would come in, we'd have our initial consult meeting, move forward from there. It would be field verifying the entire space.
Verifying.
So that would be taking dimensions of all the existing conditions, the walls, the doors, the windows, ceiling height, the existing lighting, existing, HVAC that we'd have to work with, the sprinkler heads that are in here, just taking everything into account, building everything three-dimensionally because everyone can understand a design better when it is three-dimensional. So that's how I prefer to work as well, is three-dimensionally. It just helps everyone in the design process be able to be on the same page. So then build the entire thing three-dimensionally, however big the project is, single room, an entire building, anything goes. And then really every single thing you would see would be involved.
How enjoyable, though, is it to shop with other people's money? You get to go pick out furniture, I'm guessing, and all that type of stuff. And I know you.
I guess it doesn't feel like shopping when it's
your job
in the business mindset too.
Yeah.
It's not, I think that's a huge difference between residential and commercial as well. Is like, this is a design for the public to use, what is best for the business, what is best for the people who are going to be using the space. So it's more just thinking about function, maintenance, wearability. These spaces all would get abused to a certain extent. You think about a hospital waiting room. You think about, just the various public spaces you go into, how those are going to wear and tear and the warranties. So it's a little bit more of a technical mindset versus, say, shopping for a living room and getting like the couch and the coffee table and things like that.
There's still some creativity involved in this. So
absolutely.
At least my next question is, you've been at this in your own with your own shingle for how long now?
Year and a half.
Year and a half?
Yeah.
Okay, your first job that you did on your own, when it was completed, you walked in, what was that feeling like?
I mean, it was great.
It just had to be so overwhelming.
And it's honestly, it's the most exciting when it's a space that so many people will use.
Right.
And they're like, oh, I went into that space. I got to see your work and how it has an impact on them, whether it's very minimal or, they just really enjoy the experience. I think that's what is the most exciting to me, is kind of the psychological element of design.
That's cool. So,
because, walking into a space that is, bare bones, harsh lighting, that definitely has an effect on you psychologically versus something that is welcoming and pleasing and just like well thought out and functional. So
how hard is it for you to walk into places that haven't hired you, or just when you're not working, it's, oh my God, this is awful. I mean, does that happen? I mean, like you're going out for dinner. So is it hard to separate business from pleasure?
It's like, oh no, you can tell this space was kind of patchwork together or DIY'd and it's definitely,
and that's not necessarily wrong. I mean, people have what they got they got to do what they got to do.
Yes, so. Absolutely. And budget always comes into play, but I've seen and I've heard from people in the industry, from contractors and everything, like if you invest in the design up front, it saves on change orders and everything in the long run. So
you're really good at this. Because you just led into my next question. How do you handle add drops and changes?
If the design process is thorough, there really shouldn't be many surprises unless you're literally opening a wall and there's an unforeseen condition. But of course, there's always going to be something that comes up.
Well, people change their minds.
Yeah, but in the commercial realm too, that doesn't happen as much because you're presenting to a committee, to a board. You have to get like approval before anything moves forward. So it's not, there might be some slight change of heart or something, but it's not like on the residential side where it's like, oh, I really don't like that. I kind of saw this the other day and I want to change it to that. So there's normally multiple shareholders or people involved, and it's what's best for the business, not what's your personal taste, which I think is why I enjoy it more as well.
You've got your own brick and mortar now, or will?
Yes, getting close.
Where's that at? Or where will
it will be at 905 York. It is, it previously was the Gallery Solaro space, and I'm very excited about it. Construction materials just arrived last week, so we're hitting the ground running. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, just Facebook message you or they can fill out the contact form on my website, or it is milesdesignco.com. Okay. Or they can email me at morgan@milesdesignco.com. And Miles is spelled? M-I-L-E-S. M-I-L-E-S. Okay. Correct. Well, thanks for joining us. Yes. All right. Thanks for having me. So Morgan Miles on the Business Spotlight. I'm Ron Kincherf with Muddy River News.
Your financial needs aren't independent of each other, so your financial advisors shouldn't be either. At Mercantile Bank, our experienced United Wealth professionals are united to serve you and your complete financial planning and wealth management needs. Are you just starting your investment journey or need to roll over a retirement plan? Do you need to plan for a loved one with special needs or for your own life after work? Maybe your business needs a succession plan or you want to enhance your employee benefit programs. Whatever steps you need to take, our United Wealth experts are ready to take them with you. Together, we are united.